YouTube, was good? Dave CP3, and I'm coming at you guys with a gameplay analysis video. So, as you can see here in this battle, I'm gonna be fighting against an Android, and you guys all know Androids have the limited key advantage. So, usually, this is just matchup dependent. So, I'm going into ranked or quick match with Sen Shinran, and it just happened to be an Android. So, I start off with the key advantage, but purposely I go into Vanish Wars to make the Android burn their key. If I can burn an Android's key, knowing they can't charge, you will more than likely win that battle, because usually at higher levels, the fight outcome usually comes down to who has more key or who can better manage their key. And if I can keep the Android at less than 2 bars of key majority of the fight, then your chances of winning are a lot higher. But if you letting that Android get off combos and all of that to help them build key, then it's going to be so much harder to beat the Android, because they're going to constantly have the key advantage. And even if you super counter, you have to super counter more than they have key. So that's just going to be a difficult thing to overcome. To be completely honest, I do not like doing revenge counters. I feel like it's a waste in most cases, because you burn 2 skill points and then your opponent somehow always get to hit you first after a revenge counter, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I try not to revenge counter as much as possible. Sometimes I do it just to close space, but for the most part, I rarely do revenge counters. As you can see, me and this Broly kind of going back and forth as far as movement in the neutral. But if you pay close attention to his key, you're going to see very soon as to why you need to manage your key. Right there. I broke his key. I did a charge hit purposely, knowing that he was at 0 key. And now he's just got to take whatever damage I deal out while he's in key recovery. This is why I emphasize so heavily about key management. He was ahead at least 20k in health, and that one small mistake cost him the entire fight. Gotta manage that key. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know about this, but the double rolling hammer combo reset. So it's pretty much you do, let's just say for example I'm using Beast Gohan. His input for rolling hammer is square, square, triangle. But if you go square, square, triangle, triangle, he will do the rolling hammer and then another rolling hammer that'll turn you back the original way you were before the first rolling hammer. So it's pretty good for combo resets. If you already have someone's back, you'll just do the rolling hammer, turn them facing you, and then another triangle to turn them back away from you. I was being kind of disrespectful here. I knew I was going to win the fight because I had Wild Sense popped. Had the key advantage, and I could have keyed him to death, but I'm not that kind of guy. But I did get kind of rude knowing that I was going to win that fight. But this is the rematch here. One thing I like to do when I fight someone for the first time is I try to go into as many Vanish Wars as possible, because I want to test their timing. If I know you can't vanish, I will constantly put you in situations to where you will have to vanish, because I know I can vanish at a high level, and I can definitely rely on my super counter skills as well. So I have no problem with sending you into Vanish Wars or forcing you to super counter, because I know I can do it. I just want to test to see if my opponent can do it. And once I realize that they can't, then the fight is going to be mine in that aspect too. You have to test your opponent at every given opportunity just to see what you can and can't do in the fight. If you know they can vanish and super counter, you might just want to combo them up as much as possible or use super. If you know they can't vanish or super counter, you might just want to keep the pressure up as much as possible. There's different ways you can beat your opponent. You just got to know who you're playing against. Alright guys, pay close attention to my skill count in this little engagement I'm having with my opponent right now. We're pretty much at each other right now with super countering and vanishing and everything, and I'm popping Wild Sense in the midst of all the action. That's how you get off Wild Sense. You do not pop Wild Sense while you guys have distance between each other, because your opponent can easily look at your skill count and see that it goes down by 2, and then they'll know your Wild Sense is on. You have to pop Wild Sense while the action is actually going. That's the best way to get Wild Sense off. This is another thing I like to do when I'm fighting someone, especially with MUI Goku. I will go through the first string on a combo And then I wouldn't go into the next 5-hit combo. I would go straight into a grab, because when you have them facing you and you're comboing them, they can super counter, but they can also revenge counter. But he couldn't do it there because he didn't have the skill points for it. But that's something that you can keep in mind, because people don't usually use the revenge counter on the first set of combos, like the first 5 string of combo. So I would go into the first 5 hits, and then right on the dash in, I would do a grab. And it's very effective with MUI Goku because his grab can't be teched. So, and then it's slow. So now he's punching you all fast and everything, and then you get that break in the action. And then once he goes to grab, he can't tech the grab. So if you're not paying attention, or if you're nervous, or you're not locked in, you'll get grabbed, because if you see it here, he keep using perception every time after the first string of combos. So the grab is working every single time. Now I got this guy all messed up because he can't super counter my combos because I'm staggering him. Then I'm not going fully through combos, and then I'm getting damage in the Vanish Wars as well after the grab. So he's panicking, throwing out random ultimates, and that cost him the game. Almost a perfect. I got hit one time. So this clip here is going to be a little bit different. So I saved the fight to the my data or the theater aspect of the game, and then I saved the clip afterwards. So we're going to watch this fight from my opponent's point of view. This is a high level IQ read. Once I get a break in the action and he throws ki, I'm going to notice that immediately and throw out this super, because I know he's not blocking. Couple combos and a couple hits through Vanish and a super, he's down to about roughly 13k health. Another thing I try to do is I try to stay as unpredictable as possible. People have trends, and sometimes having trends can be bad because people can pick up on your habits really quick, especially in fighting games. So you want to kind of be as unpredictable as possible when you're playing fighting games in general. So this right here was a bad IQ read by my opponent. He used the explosive wave at the end of my combo, literally the last hit of my combo, and wasted 2 skill points. Another horrible IQ read. You do not want Super Saiyan 2 Team Gohan in sparking mode. That's like one of the top 10 characters, maybe top 5 characters in sparking mode. He has a 3-bar rush attack. He has a 2-bar high damage Kamehameha, and he has an unblockable ultimate. You do not let Team Gohan go sparking. You see the damage I'm putting out, and I just use supers. So now he's down to no health, no ki, and it's just total dominance. With Team Gohan going into sparking mode, it's just insane. Alright guys, in this clip here, I'm using Kefla. I want you guys to pay close attention to my combos. I stagger my combos to minimize the opportunity for my opponent to super counter out of them. If you leave big gaps and you do more like power crush hits, it's harder to super counter out of a combo, especially in the mix of me also doing sweeps and combo resets. This situation right here is huge, guys. I'm taking all of his ki with these power crushes. Let's watch it again. Then at the end of all of that, with the last one being the gut punch, he can't even revenge. He's afraid to revenge counter because he knows I'm going to sidestep it. Revenge counter is one of the worst mechanics in the game. Sometimes it'll help you break out of a combo, but you'll get put right back into another combo. It's just a waste of 2 skill points. Your best bet, in all honesty, is to super counter out of every combo. Do not waste your points trying to revenge counter. You're gonna get punished for it. And now this next clip is the exact reason why I feel like Z-rank DP players do not have any skill. Let me say this again. Z-rank DP players do not have any skill. DP does not require any skill. I'm going to stand on that every single day because it has been plenty of times where I fought Z-rank level people in DP, and they are bad at the game. They don't know the mechanics. They don't know how to super counter. They only got Z rank 9 times out of 10 is because they had a 4 or 5 character squad and they're doing timeouts. That's how they're getting Z rank. I just destroyed his entire first character and he only did roughly 1500 damage. That's trash. He's trash. And he's a Z rank. It's sad. I really didn't mean to rhyme on that last little clip, but I just get so mad when I see Z rank DP players. It just does something to me. It just pisses me off. It gets me so mad because I be in like different groups and group chats and stuff, and they be like A ranks and B ranks. They come in there dropping clips, talking, "Oh, I beat a Z rank," and it be guys like the dude in the last clip, and they just be horrible. In this last clip here, this is one of my training partners. We be locked in. We be going at each other all the time, so shout out to him. We be making each other better. In a few seconds, I'm going to make one of the highest IQ reads you can possibly make in this game. I'm going to bait out an explosive wave and then see what I do after that, with the time I have with him stuck in the animation of the explosive wave. You guys have to subscribe for that 1 million IQ read. My power level is way over 9,000. It's way over 9,000 with me doing stuff like that. I baited out the explosive wave to instant spark. GG's, man. Like, comment, subscribe on the video. I'll be back soon with some more content. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.